As we journey through life, we tend to hold on to experiences that were impactful, or we tend to hold on to narratives taken on from our past experiences. And these things tend to create stories that we live by. We live in a day and age where we're awakening and remembering our inherent gift and ability of creation. We as humans, we strive to create an ideal life. The key thing that we tend to forget when we're creating the life that we desire is rewriting your story. Oftentimes we don't realize how our storyline can keep us stuck in realities that aren't conducive to what we're currently creating. Whether it's certain beliefs, narratives, opinions, judgments from others, or certain events that you've experienced. Oftentimes we take this on like this is our end reality, forgetting that we have the power to create the reality that we want. Taking the wisdom from your past and not only having gratitude for it, but having a higher understanding of it and understanding that was a part of your story, but it does not have to continue to be a part of your story. And I'll use myself as an example. A lot of my storyline has been like, I've always been this shy person that was very unconfident. How I got to this point where I feel comfortable within myself, I feel confident, and I'm just not afraid to just pop out and show out is I just had to change my perspective. I had to stop subscribing to that old storyline of myself. I've taken this on from past experiences and also narratives that came with those experiences that were put on me. I found myself in this cycle where I just kept replaying that narrative and living by that, to where that is exactly what was showing up in my life, that I was just always in situations where I'm not being seen, or I'm not feeling my best, or I'm not putting myself out there when I should. As I've gotten older, I've decided to no longer take on the storyline of the experiences and the narratives that came with those experiences related to being shy and unconfident. Once I changed my perspective, that is when I decided where I'm like, you know what? I'm not a shy person. I'm actually a very confident person. I'm not afraid to be seen, and I love to put myself out there. I love to showcase my skills. I love to showcase my personality. The more and more I live by this story that I told myself that I am a confident person, I'm not shy, that started to really set the tone for my reality, where I show up in spaces now where I get opportunities to be seen. I'm always showcasing my personality. I'm on YouTube. All these things turned around for me when I decided to rewrite my story. So rewriting your story is not about disregarding your past or pretending things didn't happen in your past, but it's acknowledging that this was part of your story and I have gratitude for it. There is wisdom that I could take from that to make certain changes. Changing your perspective and rewriting the storyline comes into play, where it's just like, okay, these are the things that happen, but from what happened, this is how I'm going to change things. You guys know that I preach alchemy all day, every day. Alchemy, alchemy, alchemy. That coincides with rewriting your story. Why am I going to keep recycling my past and just keep being in that space when I could just choose to be like, you know what? I'm just going to do things differently. And with that being said, ask yourself, what is your story? Is that story still true? And if it's not, why don't you change it? You have the power to recreate yourself and create something new for yourself. Create a new life for yourself. It doesn't matter what your story is. It's just simply changing your perspective, changing the beliefs and narratives that you've put on yourself or that you've allowed others to put on you. I don't think people realize how powerful belief systems are. Like, the power of belief is real. Most times for a lot of us, our belief system could keep us stuck in certain situations or certain realities that we just don't like. This is why I encourage you guys to really look at your belief system. If you're living in a reality that you don't like or that doesn't ideally match what you want, look at your belief system, look at the narratives that you tell yourself. Your beliefs shape your whole reality and how you experience life. So it's important to do a check-in from time to time with your belief system to kind of like see, okay, does this belief match or even resonate with the reality that I'm currently working on bringing in? If it doesn't, then you have to get rid of that belief system. For those of you who love to read, there's a book that I would love to reference to you guys that really stuck with me. This book right here. This book, The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz, is a game changer for real. It's a very popular book, actually. One of my favorite chapters in that book is be impeccable with your word. It really emphasizes how your words are very powerful. Words are power. And also how your words could cast spells. There's a part in the book where he says, whenever we hear an opinion and we believe it, we make an agreement and it becomes part of our belief system, okay? And this holds very true. And this is what I was talking about, how certain narratives and opinions, judgments that we take on from others, we tend to ingrain this in our belief system, and then it starts writing stories. It starts shaping our reality. Why? Because we believe it. That's why it's important to do a check-in with the narratives that you tell yourself, the belief systems that you hold, and get to the source of where these things came from so you could break the agreement. Okay, and that's basically what he's saying. It's really just be careful of the things that you hear, the things that you take on, whether it's from the things that you watch or from other people, whatever the case may be. Really approach things with a detached perspective, so you're not taking on things that don't resonate with you. And I feel like oftentimes, especially as we're kids and we're growing up, we're being told things, they don't realize like the power that it holds over us in our lives. And maybe some of them do, but most times they just think they're just doing proper parenting as adults in our life, but not realizing like how things get ingrained in us to where a belief system is very hard to break. It's not impossible, but it's very hard to break because it's just something that you just repeatedly do without thinking. We do not think about these things. We don't take the time to really look at our belief system and really think about, okay, does this resonate for me right now? You know what I'm saying? We just go along with things, or we just keep living by things because this is what was told to me. Whether this is something that was told in your childhood or as you're journeying through life, we just take on things and we don't really give it any forethought of like, okay, why do I believe this? So yeah, you guys, your belief system creates your reality. Your belief system writes your life story. Your belief system dictates the way you experience life. Our beliefs come from our experiences, and it's not to not acknowledge the experiences that have shaped who we are, because definitely your experiences do shape who you are. That doesn't mean that you have to continue to allow these past experiences to shape who you are. You could always rewrite it differently. You could always live by a different story. You could always change your beliefs. That is the beauty of life. Life isn't just like this one way solid thing. Life is about flow. Life is about flexibility. Life is about change. Okay? So embrace your ability to recreate yourself. Embrace your ability to rewrite your story. If you don't like your storyline, you don't have to live by it. Rewriting your story is about having power over your past and overcoming your past, and not the other way around, where it's your past overpowers you and you're just stuck in it. The whole point of going through life experiences is to learn from it and evolve. Rewriting your story is about taking your past and your beliefs and shifting it in a way that benefits what you're creating for yourself now and who you are now. Take the wisdom of the stories from your past and rewrite it. Stop telling yourself or allowing yourself to be told stories that aren't true, that don't resonate, or you don't even want them to be true. They don't have to be. You could always start over. You could always tweak things. You could always change. In life, you're never stuck unless you choose to be. You could rewrite your story as many times as you want. You could write your story every year, every month, every day, every hour. It doesn't matter. Whatever it is, you could rewrite it, and you could rewrite it in a way where it allows you to be happy and live your best life and show up authentically. That is the whole point of the concept of rewriting your story, is to make change and improvements. This is the whole point of life, is to create. Okay, it doesn't have to be a dire situation for you to make a change. You can make changes whenever you want, just because you feel like it. Okay, just embrace the art of change and creation. If you're feeling stuck right now and you're not happy in your current reality, remember, you have the power to change things and you have the pen in your hands to rewrite things.